Hey everybody, Josh here at North Akron Fit Body Boot Camp. I'm here with Caitlin. We have a special workout for you today. Now today's workouts focus solely on strengthening your core muscles in order to prevent some of that lower back pain that you might experience when you're trying to work hard during any of your other strength training workouts. Now, your core does not include just your abs. We get people all the time asking us to do more ab exercise. Well, I'm going to show you the ab exercises that we expect people to master before we move on to other exercises. They're not flashy, but remember, you're not going to get a six-pack by doing more ab exercises. If you can't see your abs, you need to lose some body fat. The way to lose body fat is to burn more calories by working harder during your workouts, not by doing crunches or some weird exercise or using some piece of machinery that some commercial shows you a supermodel with abs using. What I'm going to show you today are exercises that are simple, that you can do really well, strengthen your core to support your spine, and that way you can work harder during your workouts and burn more calories and then burn more body fat, eventually see that six-pack that you're looking for. So, are you ready, Caitlin? Okay, let's do this. So, nice and simple. We're going to exercise number one is going to be our plank. So Caitlin's going to go down to the floor. She's going to do a forearm plank, and then she's also going to show you a push-up style plank. So notice how she starts here with her glutes squeezed nice and tight. She's pushing the ground away from her, but she's also pulling her shoulders down and away from her ears, and she's pulling her elbows down toward her hips to get her lats engaged. Remember, your core is everything that does not include your arms and legs. So your upper back, your mid back, your low back, and your glutes, those are all part of your core. We're going to strengthen all those muscles. She's holding this for 30 seconds here. She's squeezing those glutes nice and tight. Keep those hips up just a little bit higher, Caitlin. There we go. And if you're shaking slightly because you're creating so much muscle tension, then you're doing this really well. Now let's show what a push-up position plank looks like. So, same idea here, but now she's in that push-up position here. Shoulders are turned down and away from the ears. She's pushing the ground away from her, keeping her lats engaged by thinking about spiraling her arms, squeezing her glutes nice and tight. She's pulling that belly button in toward the spine. Kind of like you want to feel like if you were to laugh, ha ha ha, that how your abs are going to wall up there. She's pulling her kneecaps up towards her hips, and she's taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. She's also thinking about that string being pulled from the top of her head to keep her head neutral here. Awesome, Caitlin. Now go ahead and lower yourself down towards your hips and knees. Now, if at any point while you're doing any of these exercises, you're feeling a little lower back pain or any sort of stiffness there, go ahead and lower yourself down. When you're ready, come back up. The next exercise is a side plank. The first variation I'm going to show you is going to go from the knees. So, a side plank is not about lifting your hips up as high as you can off the floor. It's about engaging your core to hold that straight plank here. So now she started on her knees. All she did was squeeze her glutes to push her hips forward. Now, she's walling up her abs nice and tight. She's pushing the ground away from her, but she's still trying to pull that elbow down toward her waist. She's going to think about that line. Now, relax your head, Caitlin. There's a string being pulled at the top of her head. She's squeezing her glutes nice and tight, taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You notice how she's getting a little shaky here. It's because she's creating so much muscle tension. She's working the muscles that are going to support her spine. Okay, now let's go back to that center plank again. So we'll go back to the front plank for another 30 seconds here. Squeezing those glutes nice and tight, walling up those abs. There we go. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Squeeze the glutes, pull the belly button up toward the spine. Pull those kneecaps up towards your hips. Get your quads tight. Pull those elbows down towards your hips. Straight neck here. Nice neutral spine. You can see she's shaking a little bit again. Feeling any pressure in your lower back, lower yourself down to your knees and come back up. If you can only do this for 10 seconds at a time, do it for 10 and do it a few times. If you can only do it for 5 seconds at a time, do it for 5 seconds at a time and do a few of them. Awesome, Caitlin. 3, 2, I gave her 40 seconds. And let's go to the other side, Caitlin. So, again, she's going to start on her knees, and I'm going to show you another variation here. So if she was to start on her knees, she's squeeze those glutes. Now, if she wants, if she's strong enough, you can also try that straight legs plank here. So get those legs straight. Now remember, you're not thinking push your hips up, you're thinking squeeze your glutes to push your hips forward, and you will naturally get those hips up off the ground. Notice the straight line of her spine through her toes there. Now, if this is a little unstable for you, just put your top foot in front of the other foot so you stagger those legs, giving yourself a wider base, walling up those abs, neutral spine, pull that belly button in toward the spine. There we go. Deep breaths. 3, 2, 1. Honestly, who's counting right now, folks? I'm trying to instruct people. Okay, a couple exercises here now. We're done with those planks. Now we're going to go into some bird dogs and dead bugs. These are two very similar movement patterns. They're just inverted. So the dead bug, she's going to lay on her back. Now, she's pointing toward the ceiling, but she's not reaching. Show them what reaching for the ceiling would look like. She's not doing that. She's actually packing her shoulders against the floor here. Neutral spine, knees are up, her feet are up as if they were resting on a chair. Now what she's going to do here, she's going to reach with opposite hand and foot. So she's going to reach with her right hand, she's pushing with her left foot, she's not letting her leg drop, she's pressing. She's holding this for a second, then she's going to bring it back up. And now she's going to switch legs here. She's still walling up those abs. She's pulling that belly button toward her spine, reaching with that foot, and back up. So she wants to feel like she's pushing through her heel. She's not driving her. Notice how she gets it just above the floor, but not resting on the floor. And then bring it back up. Reach with that other arm. There we go. Nice and controlled. And bring it back up. Just nice alternating leg movement here. Alternating arm and leg, opposite hand and foot, deep breath. She's going to breathe in, she brings her hands up, she's going to push out as she reaches here. There we go. Awesome, Caitlin. Now for this, you could do it for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, or you could do a number of reps. Usually somewhere between 12 and 20 reps is going to be a good number here. You're really going to feel this. You're going to feel this in your lower back too, because we're going to build that lower back strength to support that lower back during any other exercise. Awesome, Caitlin. Now let's go over to those bird dogs. So she's going to go to her hands and knees now. So you notice she's in the same position. She's just inverted now. What she's going to do here, she's going to reach with that opposite arm and leg. So she's going to reach with that leg. Now notice how her hands up, with her thumb up like she's shaking hands. She's going to squeeze that glute. Now here she's brought her leg up a little high, so we're going to drop it down, but she's going to rotate this hip into the floor. That's going to force her to really activate all those muscles to support that neutral spine. Think about that drink tray resting on your lower back. You're going to hold that drink tray. You don't want to spill anything, right? She's going to hold this for 30 seconds. Now, let's show them what it looks like with the movement, Caitlin. She's going to bring her knee and elbow together underneath her and then reach again. Thumb up, trying to touch the wall with those fingertips. Pushing that heel out, she's squeezing that glute tight, and she's keeping that hip turned into the floor. That's going to be the hardest part for you. Your body's going to want to open up. You're going to make sure that you keep your hip turned into the floor, and we can do this on the other side also. Reaching here, squeeze that glute, keep that hip turned to the floor, pushing with that heel, bringing that knee and elbow together. If you just want to hold this in that isometric position, that's fine. That's going to be pretty good work here. Now, if you want to make this a little more difficult, you take the hand that's on the floor, bring it closer in line with the knee on the floor. So when she has that same line, she's a little less stable. She has a narrower base. She still has to focus on doing all the same things again. She's pushing the ground away from her, and she's taking those nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Awesome, Caitlin. Go ahead and relax for a second. The last exercise we're going to show you here is a McGill Crunch. So it's called McGill Crunch because it's named after Stuart McGill, a doctor who has studied this lower back work for a long time. I don't want to say too much because I don't know as much about him, but I've studied his research and it's awesome. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to get one leg planted, the other leg straight. It does not matter which leg you have bent. Now you're going to get your hands underneath the small of your back with your palms down. Now she's going to bring her elbows up like she's trying to touch them together in front of her. And now what she's going to do is kind of come up like she's trying to touch her nose to the ceiling. Nice compact crunch here where she really is working those abdominal muscles here. So she's going to crunch up, nice and controlled. Keep those elbows up off the ground. When you feel your lower back pressing into your hands, that's when you're going to stop. You don't have to roll up into a full sit-up here. That's just going to put a lot more strain on your lower back. Keep those elbows up and then reaching here. You will feel this in your abdominals as soon as you start doing these if you can focus on those movements. Again here, 12 to 20 repetitions. You could also come up and hold this position for a few seconds and then go back down. Awesome, Caitlin. Great job. Okay, so that's our core workout. What you want to do is try those exercises going through those 2 to 3 times, whether you want to do them for repetitions or for time. Either way is fine. Usually thinking about somewhere between 30 and 60 seconds for those holds, 12 to 20 reps for any repetition, going through all 5 of those exercises a few times. Your lower back will get stronger, your core will get stronger, those abs, those obliques, and those internal abdominal muscles that support the spine are going to get a lot stronger. It's going to allow you to do a lot more during your workouts without having to focus on doing ab exercises. Thanks a lot, everybody.